drainage patterns. So drainage patterns are an arrangement of streams in a drainage basin. Okay, so it's a unique arrangement. As you can see, they are all different. Okay, so there's 7 of them, and we'll start with the first one, which is the dendritic pattern. Okay, so I'm sure your teachers, when they draw streams in a drainage basin, they usually draw the dendritic pattern, so it has become a norm. So this is a dendritic pattern. As you can see, it looks like the branches of a tree. So this is the main river. Okay, so this is the main river channel. Okay, and of course tributaries are joining this main river at acute angles. Okay, they are joining at acute angles. What is an acute angle? This is basically an angle that is less than 90 degrees. Okay, so of course 90 degrees would look like that. Okay, less than 90 would look something like that. Okay, so it's less than 90. As you can see, all of these angles at which these these tributaries join the mainstream are less than 90, so they are joining the mainstream at acute angles. Okay, so it's clearly easy to recognize the dendritic pattern. As you can see, it looks like the branches of a tree, as I said. You find it in areas with rocks of equal resistance to erosion. Okay, so rocks are different. Okay, so they have different resistance to erosion. For an example, you have shale, and you have, for an example, sandstone. Okay, so we know that sandstone is much more resistant due to its minerals like quartz, which are resistant to erosion, but shale is much more, has a lesser resistance, to erosion. Okay, so basically what we are saying is that you would find dendritic patterns in areas of the same rock. Okay, so it's the same type of rock. Okay, um, meaning which it is the same or equal resistance to erosion. If it's sandstone, it's sandstone. If it's shale, it's shale, or whatsoever. Okay, so it's the same, found in areas. Usually, they also say uniform resistance to erosion. Okay, that's what other textbooks say. So just know that it has the same resistance. Okay, it's the same rock and hence the same resistance to erosion. Okay, the second type is trellis pattern. Okay, it's the trellis pattern. So the trellis pattern is quite similar to the rectangular pattern, and the radial pattern is quite similar to the centripetal pattern. Okay, but we'll take a look at these. Um, so the trellis pattern, its main river, okay, its main channel is straight like that. Okay, so it doesn't have bends. Okay, like the rectangular pattern. So uh, what is the trellis pattern? Okay, so its tributaries join the mainstream at right angles. Okay, this is what I was talking about, the right angles. Okay, so you can see these are right angles. So these are tributaries. This is the main river, this is the mainstream. Okay, tributaries are joining at 90-degree or right angles, 90-degree angles. Okay, to this main river channel. Okay, the main streams are parallel to each other, so you would have this main stream, and you would also have another main stream parallel or next to um, the other main stream. Okay, so they are parallel to each other, so that's how they would go. Okay, parallel to each other. In areas, so you'll find them in areas where hard and soft rocks alternate. Okay, so the fact that you have streams means that maybe the rock underneath is a soft rock. Okay, and then maybe in between these main streams you have a rock that is hard. Okay, and then again you have a soft rock, so it's alternating: hard rock, soft rock, hard rock. Okay, soft rock again, so that means you're going to have streams again. Okay, you're going to have another main stream parallel to these again, so it's alternating: soft, hard, soft, hard, soft, hard. And you also find them in areas of folded sedimentary rocks. Okay, by folded we basically mean bent. So usually, normally, layers of rocks, you would have them horizontally like that. Okay, but due to tectonic forces, you can have them bending. Okay, not being horizontal but bending like that. Okay, so you can imagine, um, you can imagine, um, a rock underneath. Okay, so maybe the rock underneath is as a folded sedimentary rock. Okay, so maybe it is folded like that. Okay, so underneath, meaning which is going to be hard, hard, soft, hard, soft. Okay, so it's either you find them in areas where hard and soft rock alternate, or in folded sedimentary rocks. Okay, and then the third one is the radial pattern. So the radial pattern, a lot of students confuse it with the centripetal pattern. Okay, now the radial pattern, streams radiate from a central point. So a radial pattern is basically, you have a dome. Okay, you have a dome-like structure, and rivers are basically flowing down from the top. Okay, because rivers always flow from a high-lying area to a low-lying area. Okay, so a radial pattern is found in areas with the dome structures. Okay, and so you would have them flowing away from this central area. Okay, they are flowing away from this area because this is the highest point. Okay, this is the highest point, and they are flowing away from it. Okay, to lower lying areas. Okay. Okay, so it's also very important that you note the direction of rivers. So rivers, basically, when you have a stream, the confluence of rivers shows you the direction. Okay, so when they meet, uh, this point, basically it shows you the direction in which they are going. Okay, so in this case, you have streams, you have this tributary joining to that main river, and what this shape shows you the direction, so that it is flowing this side. Okay, it's flowing that side. Okay, so this is going to be beneficial for you also in your paper too. The rectangular pattern, it's the fourth one. The mainstream displays right angle bands. Okay, so we mean that the mainstream bends. Okay, it has these 90-degree bands. The mainstream itself. Okay, cannot confuse these two because the trellis pattern is straight, whereas the rectangular pattern has bends. Okay, so it's found in areas that have igneous rocks with joints and cracks. So in those joints and cracks, you have river channels flowing there. Okay, so that is the difference between a rectangular pattern and the trellis pattern. The rectangular pattern has bends. Its main channel has bends. It's bending 90 degrees. Fifth one is the deranged pattern. Okay, so this one, deranged basically means crazy or mad. Doesn't make any sense. So deranged in this case, streams have an irregular pattern. It's not very clear. We don't know what's going on. As you can see, this pattern is not clear. Okay, maybe different from one place to another, but it has an irregular pattern. Tributaries do not link up with the mainstream. You don't even see the mainstream. You'll find it in areas subjected to glaciation. So glaciation is basically a period where you have ice or snow covering the surface. Okay, so you'd find it in those areas. So when it melts, it forms this deranged pattern. You have the centripetal pattern. So the centripetal pattern, of course, this is similar to the radial pattern, but it's the opposite because the centripetal pattern, you'll find it in areas of depression. Okay, so this is a low-lying area, and rivers are converging in this low-lying area. So it is an area, it's a depression. Okay, like that. So it's a low-lying area. Centripetal, radial is dome, centripetal is depression. Okay, a sink. And then you have parallel pattern. The parallel pattern, all streams are going in the same direction. Okay, it's due to a steep slope, so it's forced to go in the same direction. They all are straight and they are flowing in the same direction.